Hey guys, welcome back to Here for the Instagram followers. I'm Willow.
I'm Maritza.
And Maritza, I just gotta say, I have heard some news lately, and I don't know if you've heard this, but I have heard that Tayshia and Zach's relationship has kind of been on the rocks. Have you heard this?
No, what?
Yes. So the tea is apparently this is all coming out right as Tayshia is supposed to be hosting or co-hosting the next season of The Bachelorette with Caitlin Bristow. Um, it's coming out that apparently Zach's mom unfollowed both Tayshia's personal Instagram account as well as her podcast Instagram account. Yeah.
But that's crazy though, because not even I'm just trying to look at my receipts, not even a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago that they posted that they were at a desert, chill.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. And so people are confused. And then apparently they saw Tayshia without a ring on. And she was like, no, it's just getting cleaned at Neil Lane's, I swear. And we're like, okay, so what's the deal? I think they're okay for now, but it just seems like things might be a little rough.
I think so too. I think they're okay because literally March 21st, Zach posted queen shit, literally an appreciation post for her. And then Tayshia,
thank God.
You and me, baby, let's go.
Yeah. So this is the latest. So that could be the Insta. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but this is just the latest rumblings in Bachelor Nation that I've kind of been hearing. It's the latest rumor.
Oh my God. Oh, whoa. Peter Weber and Kelly Flanagan confirmed for Bachelor in Paradise season 7. Oh, no,
I've been seeing this rumor everywhere because, dude, they broke up again. Remember how we were like, they got back together. They're going to release a podcast. They're going to release all the tea as soon as they're off contract because it's been a year. That didn't happen. And now they're confirmed to be, dude, I would be not surprised though at all.
No,
Peter
I read the comments and it says April Fools and I hate my life.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, I really believed it though. I did.
It is April 1st today, as we're recording this. But damn, dude, I still would not be surprised though.
No, I wouldn't. That's why I believe it so much because I'm like, honestly, just to spice things up, I see them producers doing that.
Dude, totally. It's going to be Peter shows up. All the girls are going to be like, oh my God, that's Peter. Half the women on the season are going to be from Peter's season. They're going to be trash talking Peter. And then it's just going to be so good though. All the girls from Matt's season are going to want Peter because they won't know him.
Yeah. And then all the girls from Peter's season are going to want Tayshia's guys.
Tayshia's guys.
Honestly,
we got a crisscross,
guys.
And then they're gonna insert Kelly as the last girl that hits Stan as Peter is in a relationship or kindling one.
And then Peter gets jealous because obviously he just can't commit.
And then Barb shows up to host an event.
Oh my God. And then Chris Harrison shows up. Oh.
Or Patty right alongside. Oh my gosh.
I can just imagine Wells in the background just
shaking the
just
shaking the drink. Oh my God. Dude, literally. With Sarah Hyland in the background or whatever.
Oh yeah, because are they married now or are they
they're engaged or married? I don't know.
Yeah, one of those two. I do want to start just quickly briefing what happened in the after the final rose though.
Yes.
That was, and it wasn't intense that I imagined it to be, but it was different, mostly because Chris Harrison was not hosting it as usually he is. It was Emmanuel Acho, which how did you think about him hosting it?
Okay, well, I've heard that, he was a former NFL linebacker. He's a current analyst for Fox Sports, I think Channel 1 or something like that. And he's also a host of Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, which is the title of his book that he wrote. And so I feel that really largely contributed to the decision on him because he has some hosting background. He also has a lot of experience asking the uncomfortable questions, especially when it comes to race and ethnicity. And so I feel he was the perfect choice for this.
No, yeah. I really liked it, although I just felt like from a viewer's standpoint, he was kind of just reporting the facts and didn't like if it was just like a newscast rather than it was The Bachelor, you know? Like
Yeah, I can
felt like
totally feel that.
it could have been a little more lighthearted than just like I need to know like details, like what did you think? Like Matt, like are you ever gonna be with Rachel again? Like
He was getting in there, dude. I
yeah.
mean, I kind of appreciate it because I sometimes feel like Chris Harrison is too hands off. Like he doesn't ask the deep shit. But and I do feel like Emmanuel Acho is a little bit rough going at first. Like I like him, but at first he definitely felt like he was reading off a teleprompter a little too rehearsed. I feel like he kind of eased into it a bit more as we went along. He got the pace going correct. But I do know what you mean, like maybe a couple more lighthearted jokes to lighten the mood.
Yeah. It just seemed a little too like scripted and let's just get the facts, not really like I mean, at the end of the day, it's a reality show. Like,
Yeah, I think they were trying to keep it in that time limit. I mean, I don't know if you heard this, but Brie actually was at After the Final Rose and was completely edited out.
and actually, I think The Bachelor did post Bree's part on YouTube, but they ended up deleting it off YouTube.
I was gonna say I haven't seen that or heard of that at all, and I'm pretty frequent on the internet.
Yeah. So like I sent you the video that on Instagram, like of Bree's part.
Yeah.
I mean, she was so eloquent, like really great responses to everything. Like she didn't bash at all like Rachel and ask like about the whole situation. Like she just said like she was disappointed in the moment actually, but like it like she knows Rachel was a good person. And actually, surprisingly so, she said that she reached out to Rachel to like basically like say like during when the whole chaos started happening, she reached out to Rachel like saying like, hey, like I'm here if you want to talk about anything. And
Mm-hmm.
responded to her. And like she said like that's what hurt her more.
Wow. Damn.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Crazy.
yikes.
I just dipped into the Bachelor official Twitter page just to check to see if they do have anything related to Brie at all. There's nothing. Nothing. Like they talk all about Emmanuel Acho doing a great job hosting it and everything like that. And they've retweeted a bunch of people talking about that, but nothing talking about Matt. Or sorry, not Matt, Brie.
Yeah.
They did our girl
It's
dirty.
very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Yeah. I just hope they give her her moment on Paradise.
Me too. Although she did say that she doesn't like want to go like any further with the Bachelor franchise. This is
Oh wait, I do remember that. She's like, I'm done. Like she just wants to be out of it.
yeah, exactly. So that's where I'm like I really want her to see her in Paradise, but like after like how the whole franchise did her dirty like that and like how she basically has a mistrust with them, like I
Yeah.
honestly highly doubt that we will see her.
Yeah. I mean, Matt James is in the same place right now as well. I heard from his brother in a tweet or something because he's kind of just dropped off the face of the earth and he archived like all of his Instagram posts and then is kind of like slowly unarchiving them. Apparently his brother said to the public like he's doing good, but he's I think in therapy now and he just really felt done wrong by the show and like it did not put him in a good place mentally at all.
No, no. And I mean, like we mentioned before, like he's obviously not the first. And obviously so many people just like can't handle what the show does to them mentally. Like it breaks them.
Yeah, it 100% does. And I think that's how it's designed, literally. They want you to be in that mental, vulnerable state in order to have you be dramatic and good TV. Um, anyways, back to After the Final Rose, they bring out Michelle first. And like, she was just so eloquently spoken. She always is.
No, yeah, for sure. I really just she mentioned how she didn't get closure with Matt.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of broke me. I was like she didn't ask for much. Like she wasn't like asking to like take her back or anything like that. She just wanted closure, and he rejected seeing her like just for 2 minutes. Like she only asked for 2 minutes. She rejected
Yeah.
for 2 minutes.
That's crazy. And I know this is something that happens a lot. I've heard from a fellow or a former contestant of the show on Ari Lyondike's season, Becca Martinez. She actually went back after she was eliminated, but when it was just remaining, it was other Becca and Lauren Lyondike. They were the only two people left. She went back around that time, and he was like trying to bring her back on the show originally. This is some really old drama, but I'm just saying, like, this does happen all the time. It's not like random. It's not like the producers were like, no, she can't do that or whatever. They made it so that she couldn't. Like, no, this is a really normal thing with the show.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, so just for a little perspective, it's not like Michelle was asking for something that's completely unreasonable.
Exactly. I just felt like she wasn't asking for much, and the fact that, like, again, she was so broken after that. Like, she was such a strong, badass woman, and like
Seriously.
how deep it broke her. Like,
Yeah.
shit's insane.
Yeah. And so Michelle just kind of covers all of her emotions with that. And then that's when Emmanuel brings out Matt to kind of talk to her about it. And he just basically says, first off, like, this is the first time they've spoken. They make that very clear. And she also says, just like, he apologizes for not giving her that time and that closure. And he says if could do it over again, he would have that conversation. But it also seemed like he didn't really realize she didn't want to try to get back with him. Like, the producers didn't make a good job of making that clear.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, low key, a part of me feels like Matt, even after like the whole help, he might have gone back to Michelle, kind of like Peter did. Like, he gone back to Madison.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah. I kind of expected Matt to do the same, but when they made Michelle a Bachelorette, like, he was like, oh, like, shit's too
Dude,
late now.
I 100%, like, when I saw Matt walking out, I feel like he seeing Michelle again was like, oh my gosh, and like was kind of caught again and was like, damn, I wish he wasn't going to be Bachelorette.
Yeah. He probably was regretting all his decisions, like, at that moment on the couch with Michelle. Like, wow, I
fucked up.
Yeah, I fucked up real bad.
Literally. And then oh, I will say this. I think I accidentally skipped over this part. When Michelle was talking with Emmanuel, I think this was before they brought out Matt. They asked her what she felt about the Antebellum photos when those came out regarding Rachael. And she said that it was frankly really insensitive and it hurt her a lot, knowing that kind of Rachael got chosen over her and like is secretly racist, or not racist, racially insensitive.
Yeah. They made it clear that she wasn't racist. She was racially like insensitive, racially like unaware of shit's going on. Michelle did also mention that she is not in love with Matt anymore, that she loves like the moments with him, but she's like not in love with him, which is like a big shift from like the last time, like when she left.
Yeah, it's also, though, the right place that she needs to be right now, given she is going to be rolling into the Bachelorette season in, 6 months or whatever.
Exactly. And she was also roasting him, also like kissing with his eyes open. Like,
I was just gonna bring that up.
Always saying that thanks for sharing and like those comments. Which, I mean, thank you for bringing that up, because I literally like if I had to hear another time that he had to say thanks for sharing for every single girl in his season. Like,
thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that.
He's like, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
I swear, that's literally every time I heard him say it, I'm like, okay, get a new line. And obviously,
I know, right? So bad. At least they leave on good terms, which I really liked. And then from there, Michelle leaves, and then we have some one-on-one time with Emmanuel and Matt. I just want to say this. I really like the pacing of this episode. Like I feel like sometimes with the hot seat interview, like after the Final Rose episodes, they really drag and like feel like there's a lot of talking without really saying much. I do feel like this episode was filled with a little bit more content.
No, yeah, for sure. I feel like after the Final Rose, honestly, for me personally, the women tell-alls after the Final Rose, I just find them really dry and content. Like they just like drag on, ask the same basic questions. Like they're a lot longer than they should be. But I think this time around, because of like maybe because like Emmanuel also was like asking really great questions, but like also like there was really good content to go over because this is not normal things that happen in the franchise.
100%. And actually, funny enough, this is a little bit off topic, but the After the Final Rose and the Women Tell All episodes are the lowest rating episodes of the entire season, consistently, and always have been. They probably always will be. Most people do find them boring.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why we keep showing them. And Tasha season, she didn't even get an After the Final Rose.
Yeah, that was bullshit. Sorry, that was the one I actually wanted to see.
Same. I like I want to know where like Ivan's at, where Brendan's at right now. Like I just see all their social media right now, but like I gotta see like what Tasha and like Zach are doing, like are they moving in together, like
what's going on?
Exactly. Like I know that like right now Tasha is like kind of moving back and forth from like New York to like SoCal, but like she said that she's starting to stay more in New York because she likes it more there. But like I wish like she would have gone more in depth with that like after the Final Rose.
Yeah, seriously, I agree. That was just Tasha just got so shafted. She was the one Bachelorette we wanted, and then they focused on Claire's guys mostly and like Claire's season for even like the Men Tell All. It was like Claire, barely about Tasha. And it's just like she was one that was actually interesting. She is a personality. She's fun to watch. We wanted to actually follow her story, and they didn't let us. And then they just gave us all this drama with Matt's season.
Tasha was definitely robbed from a proper season, a proper Bachelorette like whole like situation opportunity. Yeah.
Imagine how many Instagram followers she would have gotten, like realistically, if they had given her a full season. Like she was the first Black player to pass 1 million Instagram followers. And just like she came in halfway through, like 4 episodes in or something like that.
Exactly.
She probably would have had, I mean, I like to think more than Madison, Pruitt, or like Hannah Ann, but like probably not just because racism, but
yeah, probably not because of a white viewership.
Yeah. Back to racism and the After the Final Rose episode. Matt is talking with Emmanuel Acho.
I love the transition.
Yeah. We're a little all over the place today, but I like how it's all kind of like linking in again. We come back to it and we keep going.
Yes, exactly. But yes, they talked with Emmanuel Acho. They did mention a lot the whole Antebellum like scandal. And he said that he really tried to see the best in Rachael, as you do when you love someone. Didn't want to believe at first until he like talked to Rachael and realized that she just wasn't that, in his words, like that Rachael didn't know what it was like to be Black in America. Like, yeah, was
Rachael didn't understand like the gravity of her actions. She didn't understand what was wrong with even going to the Antebellum ball. She didn't understand what was wrong with posting those pictures. She didn't understand what was just wrong with the issue. And that was what he said. It showed him that she doesn't understand what it's like to be Black in America. And that was when I think he brought up, Emmanuel Acho brings up a really interesting point or question. And it relates back to what Chris Harrison was criticized for saying about, do her actions in 2018, like, can you hold those against somebody now in 2021. And Matt basically takes the same stance that we were taking, where we were like, absolutely, in the sense that 2018 was not that different. It's like Matt's been Black in America his entire life. And these issues have been prevalent since before the war. Just like the fact that you don't understand as recent as 2018, which is extremely modern, what's wrong with your actions, that's an issue. And you have a lot of unlearning to do. Like, I'm not trying to sound bad or anything.
No, yeah. I mean, that's not sounding bad. It's sounding realistic because, like you said, like racism and like discrimination, all of this isn't a new like subject at all. Like this, it's been going on for as long as like history can remember. Like discrimination, especially with African Americans, like slavery has been going on way too long before like it was emancipated here, like in the United States. So
Yeah.
the fact that like Rachael didn't take into account like these situations, like, oh, it was a party and like people are just more racially sensitive right now. Like, no, like that shit was like fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it's just like it's period right there. Like, there's not much more to like defend for Rachael.
Yeah. It's like, no, people have been working to actively be anti-racist for a long time, especially since the 60s, with the civil rights movement and everything like that. And it's just like, that's not like, yeah, that's recent history, but it's also like not recent enough that you should still be like not understanding the consequences of like, or like not the consequences, but just like the gravity of your actions.
Exactly. And I mean, they didn't mention this, but I wonder like if like the public knew or like if like even Emmanuel Acho knew of how Rachael, I'm pretty sure we talked about this at the beginning of the season, how Rachael like she bullied people in high school for like dating Black men and like being with Black.
Yeah,
Like we talked about that, right? It was her, right?
that was her. And she claims that it's a rumor and that girl, quote, didn't go to her school. But there's no proof that it's also not a rumor. And there's also a lot of other people who followed up in that same TikTok's comments of being like, oh my God, wait, actually, I know her too. I like same situations, or I know her friends are all terrible. And like they did the same shit, I believe it because of those because of those stories. And there's a lot more stories than there are people saying that it didn't happen.
Exactly. And then with the whole Antebellum thing, that it just supports that whole situation even more.
Mm-hmm.
So like this really has a lot of growth to do.
And here's the other thing. I don't know about you, but I know for myself at least, I'm not currently friends with a lot of the people I was friends with in high school or middle school, because you grow and change, and you also kind of grow to realize that some of your friends don't have mindsets that you agree with, or they don't have values and morals that are in line with yours. And that's kind of why you need to, like, why we branch out, we find new friends and new people and talk to different people. Whereas like Rachael's still friends to this day with the same group of girls she was friends with in high school. When you see that like stagnation, that's kind of concerning, because it tells me you're surrounding yourself with people who only share the same views and opinions as yourself. You're putting yourself in a bubble.
Exactly. So as much as you want to believe that you're growing and changing, if you're still surrounded around that toxicity, like it's not like,
Yeah.
it's just not much more you can do.
Yeah. It's just, I can't even imagine what that would have been like too for Matt. Oh my God. Okay, so this show premieres, just like putting yourself in Matt's mind. The show premieres, and these photos and these rumors are coming out that he's trying to convince himself aren't true. He even says that in the interview about Rachael. He just was wishing it wasn't true. And then you see her watching the premiere with the same group of friends that are in these photos that you're hearing about. And it's just like, what? And then you hear stories of the same group of friends calling people like just like being racist in general. And like she's still around them and still hanging out with them. And then she still doesn't see the error of her like actions. That would be really difficult for me.
And they still defend one another, like, of their actions.
Yes, they defend one another of their actions. That's exactly it too. I completely forgot that. Her friends were completely defending her.
So, like, the fact that they still don't see either, like, what's wrong, like, it's a lot more than just listening to a podcast, how she wanted to defend herself about it.
Yeah. I agree. It's just like I feel really bad for Matt. That's like where it stands.
Yeah. Well, after all the discussion with the one-on-one with Matt and Emmanuel, they end up bringing Rachael in, and they hadn't seen each other. So I guess they broke up over the phone, and they hadn't seen each other like since the breakup or even before that.
Interesting, because I do know that he said it was like an extended honeymoon phase. I wasn't really sure on the timeline, so I'm glad you're bringing that up because like that was something I was confused on, like where they were, because I know he lives in New York and she lives in the South, like Georgia.
Yeah.
So, interesting. That's rough.
No,
Hope they released on FaceTime.
Hopefully, because I mean, getting engaged and breaking off an engagement over the phone, like.
Oh, they didn't get engaged technically.
Oh wait, yeah. How did I forget about that? Just breaking up in general over the phone, like that's just tough.
That's rough. To be fair, they were only together if they were filming this and recording this, and all the stuff started coming out in what, like January? When did we start watching? January, early January. Yeah. Okay, so they would have broken up probably like beginning of February, I'm assuming, and they filmed this in like November. They were together for like 2 months.
No. I didn't think about that. Wait.
And like, dude, they probably only had like 2 weeks together, maybe like in person after the show. And then like they went home for the holidays. Like they probably had like not much time together to really build a bond or anything.
The fuck? Now that I think, they probably only like hooked up like twice, maybe.
Bro, literally, like he goes, oh yeah, it was great. Like after the show was like an extended honeymoon, you know, then Christmas happened and then we broke up. So
that's, oh my god, it's insane. But I just want to say, like, when they first saw each other, like after the final rose, like they hugged kind of like if it was nothing. But then when they sat down, like I just already felt like how tense Matt was.
Matt was not okay here.
Mm-mm.
I think Matt just all in all was feeling so fucking betrayed because like he trusted this show to set him up with someone who was going to be a future potential wife, and they knew he was into Rachael the entire time. And then now he has to, for the show that screwed him over, be on the show and talk to his ex-racist girlfriend, racially insensitive girlfriend.
Racist and racially insensitive, yeah, you name it. But no, yeah, I think this was a point where like I felt like Emmanuel's like questions just got a little too hard and like too much pressure, because like the whole time I just see like Matt is just like
sweating.
Yeah, he was breaking a good sweat right there. Like he was just not mentally okay. Like I can almost see kind of like trauma in his eyes. Like he just like was out of it. Like we were always saying like how Matt like looks stoned every episode, like, which we still have not figured out if it's us just looking at him, which I honestly just still feel like I'm still for it. That
dude, he did not look stoned on this episode. Why did he look stoned in all the other episodes?
I know. I was like, this is your time to get stoned. Like, if it was any other time, it's right now.
Right? I'm like, what? Maybe he was just okay. I know they keep you up like for ungodly amounts of time when you're filming the show, but like, and maybe he just looked really tired the whole time. But okay, I don't know about you, but I know for myself, I don't look so tired. I look stoned all the time. It only happens if it's been like, 3, 4 days and I haven't gotten much sleep. And then like I've been up for, 17 hours straight. And then as soon as I get like 2 hours of sleep, it goes away. Like my eyes go back to normal.
Yeah.
I think he was stoned. I prefer that narrative.
I just want to have the stone idea in my mind. Maybe the sleep might have been there too, but like I just think it's funnier that he would be stoned in every episode. But
yeah, it's a much funnier narrative. Anyways, then they basically bring up, just put on the fucking screen right in front of Rachael, Matt, Emmanuel. They're all there, big on the screen, Rachael with her friends. And they just blur the friends' faces out. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like the 90-Day Fiance recaps? Like, this is intense. They're just putting it up there.
No. I thought that was the Dr. Phil show.
Dr. Phil, like Ellen, like all of those. Like the Real Housewives drama part, like the afterwards.
No, yeah. It was just really uncomfortable. So many awkward long pauses, like so many. I was like, when can we just like move on? Can I like fast forward right here? Like,
yeah, it was rough. I just like didn't want to watch it. No. Let's just say that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any specific highlights that you really want to bring up from their conversation?
No, because it literally wasn't much of a conversation to me.
I agree.
To me, it was just like Matt silent most of the time and just reiterating the same thing, how Rachael has a lot of growing to do and that she doesn't know what it's like to be Black in America. Like that was where it's just like the main thing that he kept like retelling almost. And Rachael saying like, well, like I just want to say like it would be insensitive of me to say like, oh, I'm like changing, I'm growing, I'm learning, like I'm watching podcasts, like I'm looking stuff up, like this and that. Like she's like trying to prove herself. She's like, but like I'm just like
I was waiting for like I have a Black friend now, like
I wanted her to say that too.
Like yeah, like oh my god, like I befriended the really nice Mexican lady lives down the street and like I get coffee with her all the time. I swear I'm not racist. It's like what?
Be like, oh, one of our Black maids in our house, like she's my friend now.
Like, oh yeah, like our Black gardener that my dad's just been paying for like 40 years minimum wage. I got lunch with him. It was great. And it's like, what?
I finally knew what his name was.
I don't even know what his name was. And then she'll pull out some like name that she's assuming that's completely like racially insensitive and not okay.
She just says Matt Jr.
Oh my god. I don't even know. Yeah, I agree. Not much happened in this conversation. I mean, I know Rachael said like she can tell how much Matt was hurt by her actions because she knew that the relationship was strong and he wouldn't just end it over nothing. And I'm like, I still feel like you're missing the point.
Yeah.
Like just by you saying it like that, like not just saying like I can't even imagine what it was like for Matt to have been raised Black in America his entire life and see photos of his now girlfriend that he has intentions to potentially marry, at a racially insensitive event. Like, I feel disgusted in myself. Like, that's what I was wanting. Not, I know he was really hurt based on how strong our relationship is, and he broke up with me.
Exactly. I think, like you said, she definitely could have spoken the situation a lot better than she did, than just saying like, I hurt the person I loved and like he's my soulmate, blah 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 blah. Like, okay, we get it, but like talk to the public you hurt. Like you didn't just hurt Matt,
Yeah.
you hurt like
All of
Bachelor
America.
watchers, all of America. There you go. Cause like, and I don't think she realizes the big scope, like how big this issue became.
Yeah, 100%. She doesn't. I don't think she does either. And I just it was rough to watch, and it just felt like a repeat of her apology video she put out, which again wasn't like enough.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I think that was most of it for the after the final rose though.
Yeah, that was pretty much all of it. I'm like just making sure I got everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I want to say some tea though that I've been seeing. Supposedly. So remember Blake from Tayshia's season?
Yes.
Yes. So I keep hearing that he right now he's like MIA in like social media and stuff, and they're like shipping him hardcore with Katie. So they're saying that he's gonna show up in Katie's season.
I could see it. I could see it.
I can see it too. Like
I could see it.
Loki didn't like Blake back then in that season, but like I ship it so hard with Katie though. Like
Dude,
both of them.
So you know what I've heard about Blake? Okay. Remember how he was like, all the guys were like, he's so weirdly sexual and everything like that? Okay. Blake was raised by apparently like a raging feminist single mother woman who like gave him sex education books from like, age 6 on, and was learning about his body and like educated his children, like her children, on consent at like an early age. Blake is not like hypersexual and weird. He is just woke. Like,
period. What?
Yes, he's just out here like being himself and like knowing he knows how to satisfy a woman. Probably that's probably why he's so open to talk about it.
Literally, I ship both of them even more right now. Oh
right?
My God.
Like knowing how like okay, Katie has done her therapy. She is like knows herself, so open with her sexuality too. And Blake, bro,
an animal, like a woke animal here. I honestly wouldn't expect anything less from him, honestly, from like how I wonder though, like if he had gone more time in this Tayshia's season, like if he had gone farther, like
mm-hmm.
he had talked about his like childhood sexual books. Like he'll be like
wonder. I mean, he's.
I was gonna say.
What was that? No, I was gonna say
like that. Like his friends are reading Dr. Seuss, and he's reading like 10 ways to know that she's giving consent or something like that.
Bro, literally. No, apparently though, he literally had also bought a book on dementia to go on Claire's season because he knew that her mom has like super severe Alzheimer's or something. And so like he wanted to understand it and like be able to relate. This guy is a guy who definitely has a giant ass bookshelf filled with like a bunch of super smart type people books.
Big
and
sure.
he's just like educated. We like him.
No, yeah. I honestly, post-stage season, I do like him a lot more. Now I kind of understand more of who he is than what he was portrayed on the show.
Yeah. Oh, little news I've heard that I just remembered. Apparently, Heather Martin and Matt. Okay, Heather Martin apparently posted some photo on her Instagram or some story or something that in the background of a reflection of a cup, apparently it looked like Matt James was there. And like apparently Patty is now following Heather on Instagram. Yeah. And she doesn't follow anyone else.
I'm just like, I mean, low-key, I feel like both of us saw this coming though. When Heather first came in, we were like, after this, like they're gonna end up getting together because they're in the same like circle.
They're in the same friend group.
It just makes sense, but that I didn't think it would be this soon that they'd get together.
Right? I mean, like, okay, don't know if it's for sure or not. And obviously, Matt has a lot he's going through still, but like, could be.
I mean, I see it. I also heard that supposedly confirmed is Spencer, Noah, and I am blanking on the other guy, but those two are confirmed for Bachelor in Paradise so far.
Ooh, that's super exciting. Oh, so much tea we're catching up on. I've heard Bennett has been sliding into Kelly Flanagan's DMs
Oh
and
my
is
god,
trying
I
to.
heard that too.
So that's confirmed. He's been trying to get with her, and apparently he commented on like this reel of her like flipping her hair. Like, man, I wish this was a 30-second video. And I'm like, ew, what?
Just Bennett makes me feel so uncomfortable. I don't know why. It's just like he gives me like dad vibes still, and it's just like
creepy, gross dad vibes that shaves his chest. Like that's the vibe.
no, yeah, I saw like I think they both posted something with the same song in the background. And then people were trying to make connections with that and like how they're both in vacation right now. Like they're obviously vacationing together. Like people are really stretching the truth right now. But like, I don't know.
Kelly would not stoop that low.
No.
Unless she has her
would
eyes on the money because she wants to get her lips done again.
Probably, but Girlie's an attorney. I don't think she needs the money.
Oh, that is so fucking true. Sis has like she's set. She's got herself set. She's like, I don't need no man.
She's a badass independent woman, does not need man's money or anything. She's got her own thing. So
Yeah.
the fact that
maybe Pete was spending too much of her cash on partying, and that's why she dumped his ass again.
Honestly, I wouldn't say anything less because like that boy was just bad. He still is.
Dude, yeah.
No, for sure.
So yeah, that was here for the Instagram followers plus updates on all the latest tea that has popped into our mind.
Yeah.
There's more, but
a lot more. Are we gonna see each other for Bachelor in Paradise?
Sure. If you want.
Okay. Well, stay tuned for Bachelor in Paradise and here for the Instagram followers. I'm Maritza.
And I'm Willow.
Bye.
Bye.